Welcome to Whatcha Makin, a podcast about sharing ideas, discussing the business of making, and connecting with the maker community. Your hosts are Alex Adams, an engineer turned furniture maker of Type A Furniture, and an alien pretending to be a DIY craftsman, Alex Duffey of Duffey Woodcraft. This is Whatcha Makin.
Hello, What Makers, and welcome to Whatcha Makin, a podcast where we talk all about what's on our bench, spotlight makers throughout the community, and are here to remind you that 290,000 people annually in the United States go to the ER from DIY projects. So make sure you're wearing that PPE. Tonight's main topic is home renovations with our special guest, but more on her in just a moment. I'm Alex Duffey, and you can find me on Instagram and YouTube at Duffey Woodcraft.
And I'm Alex Adams, and you can find me at Type A Furniture on Instagram. And I thought for a second that you were going to go with the frozen turkeys, like burning someone's house down as that statistic.
I was thinking about it, but this comes out after Thanksgiving, so even though we're recording before Thanksgiving, time travel.
So it'd be like a Christmas ham or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, good job.
I know. So anyway, I know that we have patrons. So if you go to patreon.com/whatchamakinshow, you can become a patron with all of the wonderful benefits that we offer over there.
Who are you?
Our special guest tonight is the one and of the amazing co-hosts of Sawdust Talk, a wonderful mom, a hobby farmer, a great friend. You can take her out of the big city, but you'll never take the big city out of her. Please welcome Jessie.
You gotta say small town.
Hi, Jessie. How are you?
I'm from a small town. Big city Jessie is just like a running joke that El Jefe decided to make because I am from the tiniest town ever.
Which is why I'm keeping that tradition going.
Thanks for having me on, you guys.
Big City Jessie. So for our listeners who may not be aware who you are, and if they're not, that's a shame on them because you're awesome and everybody should know who you are. But will you give us a little intro of who you are and what you do?
I go by Building Jessie on all platforms, and I came into the maker community back in 2018. It's kind of just snowballed since then, meeting people, going to events. But I mean, I'm all over the place. I try to tell like my life story from all aspects because I don't just hang out in the shop. I also do home renovation stuff, as you guys know. I have a couple kids, one of which is getting really involved in the community, which is really cool and fun. And then I have farm animals, and people seem to love my pigs. And so I try to share a little bit about all of the things I do around my little homestead. So they're adorable.
Agreed. I love your pigs. I also try not to make too many Kahlua jokes. So
everybody sends me, whether it's like pig stuff, duck stuff. Alex Adams, I'm talking to you.
I'm
He's
guilty
like,
of
I know
the
this
duck
is
stuff.
AI,
I
but
sent
it's
her
hilarious.
one today.
And I'm like, I know, and I love that you know that I would love it too.
Well, now that I know, I'll send you more pig stuff too.
Don't know how you do anything else, Alex, because the amount of reels that you send me every day, let alone the other people I know you send reels to, how do you do anything?
I mean, you're at a mild like 20% of everything that I actually send out, so.
And that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, in that case,
What you doing?
so this week in my shop, I have been completely rebuilding the shop from the ground up. I talked a little bit about this last week. I've been tearing it apart. Well, now I'm in the rebuilding phase. Made a trip to the dump, and I've finished one wall of putting all the flooring up on the wall. So I'm really hoping that so far it's looking awesome, and I can't wait for it to be finished because that means I'm done with it. But
flooring on the wall?
What'd you say?
Flooring on the wall?
Yeah, so I got a whole bunch of the faux wood flooring, and I'm putting that on the wall to make it look, to add some depth to the background for my YouTube videos. And for those who are on the video, you can kind of see there's my first version right now. So that's the the one wall I've done, and this other wall will be the one I do next.
That's actually cool.
So-
It's
It's
like
kind of a
brightens up the space.
grayish
you know?
color.
Yeah, it brightens it up. It just adds some texture to it versus those white bare walls, which I didn't like. So I'm excited for that. And then as soon as that's done, then I get to start building the new workbench for the new CNC and go from there. So I'm
Building
excited.
or assembling?
Building.
Okay, because what was the... Oh, wait, no, it was the CNC base that you had someone build, right?
For my old
Okay,
CNC,
yeah.
I had somebody build a mobile
Gotcha.
base for me, so I didn't have to deal with building two bases.
Yeah, I had my
and-
wires crossed on those two.
Yeah,
makes
so
sense
that
now.
one was delivered. The guy did an amazing job. I moved the CNC a couple of days ago onto it and then tore apart the old bench and started reassembling or started doing the wall. So I actually had to wash the walls. I took my mop and I was mopping the walls because there was so much sawdust like stuck on the plaster. I had to get
That's
that
the kind of
clean
content
first.
that we need.
No.
Yes.
Hey, people actually do that in their actual homes. They mop walls.
Mm-hmm.
They get
And
dirty.
you know I would do it in my shorts.
Yeah, they definitely do, especially in wood shop. It was that water was nasty when it was all said and done. And then the last thing for me in this section was I got a last minute order from Columbia Footwear. So for those who don't know, Columbia Footwear is local to me in Portland. I've been lucky to work with them in the past. I make some acrylic templates on the CNC for them. And they called me up yesterday and said, hey, we need 48 new templates on Monday. Can you do that? And we know there's a holiday in between here and there and here. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess I can. I don't want to break that connection. So,
What kind of
yeah,
templates are these for?
they are large socks, basically. They're going to be acrylic templates that are all in the shape of a sock. And they need 48 of them I work with one of the designers for their photography studio. So I assume they're doing something with a whole bunch of clear acrylic socks hanging from something.
Oh
So
my gosh. That's
Oh,
really
so it's not
cool.
the negative, it's the actual object.
it's the actual object. Yep.
Oh, I thought in my mind I had like I was trying to figure out if like this was some kind of like stencil or like something else.
cut out. No, they want the actual items.
Please
So-
tell me they partially pay you in socks and gear.
No, my wife really wants them to because they don't make shoes my size, unfortunately. But they would for her. So I don't know. They pay really well though, so I could buy some gear. I'm sure I could ask for one of the employee discount or like codes to their store or whatever.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But that's me this week. Jesse, what have you been doing this week?
This week, not a ton. I feel like this whole year has been so much like travel, and we've done a lot of vacations, like long vacations too. But kids in sports is like taking up so much time the last since school started for them. But I'm back to
'Cause
work.
they probably just started winter sports.
Well, they just started winter sports, but during the fall, my son was playing tackle football. My daughter was playing volleyball. I was coaching her volleyball team. And at the same time, she also started practicing for AAU basketball, which is competitive league. So it's been a really busy fall. So winter sports feels like a little bit easier, actually. But I mean, just stuff around the house, honestly, and gearing up for the holidays and birthdays and stuff like that. We've been working on my daughter's bedroom downstairs. I say it's in the basement, like I'm putting her in the basement, but it's a daylight basement, so it's not that scary. But she's
Locking her in the basement.
she's
Give her
almost
like a periscope so she can see
Yeah.
the sun.
she's almost 12.
You have light.
So she's like, I need my own space. And I'm like, okay. So we've been kind of
So it begins.
working on that. And then I guess the other cool, I just joined a partnership with a local, not brand, I guess. It's Hardware Sales is like our local, we have everything you could ever need hardware store. So it's not like the cheapest place to go for stuff, but like you get in a pickle where you're like, I need this specific part that I can't find at Lowe's, Home Depot, anywhere. Like, you go to Hardware Sales. So I actually am joining them for, they're just starting up, like kind of not even an affiliate, but they're trying to do more with social media and stuff. So me and a couple other people have joined on with them and going to be doing some videos and stuff for them. So
is it just a local place, or do they have a couple of other locations?
it's just local. So,
Gotcha.
but I mean, for me, I mean, I grew up here. So when I post something to my page and push it to my Facebook page, that's reaching, you know, everyone in Whatcom County that I know, which is a lot of people. So I think I tried to do this once before with another brand, and it is kind of hard to get the scale of, you know, putting that work into something like that, or having a company pay you to do something like that. Because I can't be like, oh, hey, you guys are in Maine, like check out this place because you're across country. But for my local people, I think it'll be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So yeah.
She's saying she's kind of a big deal in Whatcom County.
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm just
that's cool,
Big City
though.
Jessie over here.
Yeah.
So you're telling us there wouldn't be a billboard with your face on it if we went and visited?
I would hope not. That would be so awkward.
That's not a no. That's not a no.
It's not a no.
Drive on the way up to Canada and be like, oh, I know where I am now. There's Jesse's face.
Oh, man.
Alex,
My
what
kids
about
would
you?
really
What are
think
you
I'm
making
famous.
this week? You are famous, Jesse. You're on the internet. Everyone's famous on the internet.
There you go.
Everything on the internet is true.
Yes.
Sure.
Yep. I've been doing lots of 3D printing lately because I had the market over the weekend, so I had some sales off of that I'll talk later, but I've been replenishing as well as adding new stuff for the next mid-December market that I have, so I'm testing out some other stuff. I've always made stuff in PLA because it's been just toys and little fidget type things. So I finally ordered some PET G, so I'm working with that so then I can do some outdoor ready stuff. Because I printed my first thing in PET G as a hitch cover with the Huskers logo on it. Go Huskers. Wait, where's the logo? Nope, that's the Adidas logo. There's the Nebraska Huskers logo. Anyway.
Well, we all know.
So
we all know
Exactly.
your love for it.
Yeah. Some say obsession.
Runs deep.
Some say wrong.
Depends on the video.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So anyway, I'll be messing around with the PET G because I also want to make some print off some accessories because my wife has a couple of bog bags and there's a bunch of different things that you can attach like that. Since the bog bags is basically like the bag version of a crock, you've got the like just like how they have gibbets on the Crocs, you've got ways to essentially add stuff to the bog bag so you can accessorize it as needed.
I shake my head. I don't understand the whole croc and gibbet obsession, let alone now the whole bag and accessory stuff with it. So
the croc. It's just like the modern version of collecting stamps is really what it ends up being.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's all about collecting stuff.
Well, my kids both have Crocs and they love collecting charms. I mean, with their travels this year, I mean, they went to Hawaii with their dad and stepmom, and we went to Costa Rica, and like everywhere they go, they're like, oh, can we find like a cool like little charm for our Croc? But the bog bags are like, they're kind of the same thing. It's very niche, but people also spent how much money on Labubus, and like they're already almost dead. Like I'm telling
Thank
you,
God.
Are Labubus dead now?
I have not heard anything about Labubus in like a good month. Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's a fad.
Gotcha.
But get it while
I think
you can.
everybody spent all their money on Pokemon cards recently, and so Labubu died because there's no extra money anymore.
People couldn't cash in on their Beanie Babies to buy Lububus.
I'm still mad about that.
The Beanie... I was never big into Beanie Babies. I had a couple, but
I wasn't, but my mother was, and I spent many a Saturday waiting in line at Hallmark to be able to buy whatever the newest bear was being released, because there was a limit of one per customer, and my mom would give me the $20, and I got to keep the remaining like $2.
Oh, so you were a Beanie Baby mule is what you were.
Yes, I was.
Did you ever get the Princess Diana one? I know that one was a special edition one.
We had like 6 of them.
Oh wow!
And how much are they worth now?
It's the only one actually worth something. The Princess Di, if they're in good condition, are worth like $800. They're not. Those are actually worth something.
Okay, I'm calling my mom. I'm like, Mom, you need to go in storage. Where are my Beanie Babies?
The rest of them aren't worth anything.
Oh, it's awful.
My dad actually, when my mom passed, my dad had, I think he said there were 15 of the Home Depot, like 50-gallon totes full of Beanie Babies in their storage unit. And so he had to figure out what to do with them. He ended up actually finding a charity to give them away to like kids with cancer or something. But it was a massive amount of Beanie Babies. And I was like, man, I would have had a Beanie Q and burnt them to the ground.
Oh.
And yeah,
with the addition of the Pet G, now I've got more filament to keep track of, so I kind of reorganized my setup a little bit, and part of it was reorganizing the inventory side of things, because I haven't been keeping a whole lot of inventory because it's been pretty much selling as soon as I print it. But now I'm getting to the stage where I'm trying, I know what's been selling more recently, and so I feel comfortable printing stuff ahead of time. So then I've got much more inventory on hand. And so my system now is have a storage bin, and then in that storage bin is Ziploc bags of each individual type of print, or I group 2 prints together that I can distinguish between the two. So then it's not just a whole grab bag in the box, because that's just a nightmare because most of the stuff is handheld size type things. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is make it easier to transport as well as easier to store and be a little more compact with the inventory.
Does that mean you're having to get to the point of needing a filament dryer?
Yes, especially with the Pet G. Because since that stuff is a lot more sensitive to moisture than the PLA. Because the PLA is, it's been sitting out for, I have spools that have been sitting out for a while or colors that I haven't used very much, and they do, just fine. So it's been okay with the PLA. It's just not made for outdoor usage, especially with the heat in the summers that we end up getting. So that's why I'm excited with the Pet G, is to be able to do a couple of other things. So I am excited for that, but also just a little bit nervous, because I know it's just ever so slightly a little bit more finicky when it comes to making sure that it can print right, because PLA is 3D printing on easy mode, so leveling up to the medium difficulty. But I did actually, since I was printing a lot of stuff, I had a couple of fun instances with my AMS, because sometimes as you're changing colors, and that's the area that can have issues with changing everything. So I had a couple of things that I needed to fix in there. So I spent a little bit of time, not a whole lot, diagnosing a few of those issues. So that's kind of what's been going on in my world lately.
Nice.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
So for selling, this past weekend was back to a high school event for me for our market, coming off of the weekend from the casino. And I was a little worried going into it because the casino weekend was so far down So I was a little worried how this one was going to be, but I did hit my goal, which was great. And it was funny. We were talking in the Discord with our members about what you spend on a booth and does that coordinate to sales. And so Greg, one of our patrons, asked about specifically what, like if I spend $100 on a booth fee, what would I expect on sales? And so my formula personally is $100 of a booth fee equals $1,000 in sales. And so like my goal,
10x.
basically 10x. Like this past weekend, the booth fee was $180. My goal was 1,800. I was $3 shy of 2,000, but so I was technically over my goal. So it was good, which made me really excited because that means that for year over year, I'm not dropping anymore. I'm still down about 20% year over year. So maybe the next 2 weekends I'll make that back up, but maybe not. We'll see.
You also spent the weekend at a market on your birthday.
That's true. It was my birthday.
So I'm glad you did good.
Me too. It was, it was a nice birthday gift to myself. Birthdays are fun, and my birthday is in November, so I'm always like, all right, it's going to be one of the market days eventually. And this year it happened to be a Saturday. Luckily, it wasn't Thanksgiving this year. I do have my 21st birthday was Thanksgiving, by the way, which sucks because
my oldest brother, his birthday occasionally falls on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so when I turned 21, I couldn't go out to the bar the first day because everyone was closed because of Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. So I had passed out Black Friday that year.
Black Friday.
Yep. But how did your market go, Alex? Yeah, blackout Black Friday.
Yeah, mine went pretty good. I mean, by your math, since my booth was free and I made a couple $100, that means divided by 0 is like infinity. So I pretty much win the markets then by that math.
Yep. That's how that math works, I think.
Exactly.
Your math is definitely mathing.
Yep. It'll make Excel crash. And so it was a good time. It was actually, I was a little bit nervous about it because the place hosting it was just like a little boutique. And so right next door was like an empty lot. And that's where I was in the outdoor. So like I had been kind of like a little bit iffy on if the weather was going to cooperate. And it was about as good as you could get for the weather. It was like 50s, and the only issue that we had was like a little bit of like gusts of wind. Otherwise, it was pretty darn good for like weather. So it was about what I expected. Like it was on the same level as like the farmers market, like the local farmers markets that I had done a little bit better than the farmers market overall. If you're talking just top line revenue kind of stuff. But anyway, the other funny thing was that they had a gift bag that they had everyone like contribute an item towards. And so what I had opted to do was like, it was like one of those gingerbread dragons that had like icing and like sprinkles on it, very festive. And so they actually did the drawing yesterday on that. And my son actually won the entire gift basket. So we get back all of the items plus the 3D print. It was
amazing.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh my goodness, like awesome luck.
Okay, but he had to have seen you put that in there and be like, why did you buy that to give away? That's not fair. I want to do that.
No, we had 3D printed it, so he knew we had it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a 3D print that we had contributed. So it's like it's back now. But overall we had a good time. He was there with me most of the time because we kind of do it a little bit together. It usually ends up being he's around for a little bit and then he goes and buys a bunch of stuff from all the other vendors, which it seems to be like a common theme between anyone who brings their kid and is also a vendor, like they end up, spending a good amount of what they actually get from the show with the other vendors, which is, I mean, it's good.
I was going to say, does that actually mean you made any money?
Yeah. So he's actually got his own little red Velcro wallet that he like pulls out and he like goes and he like pays for his own stuff and he'll go buy things. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that brings back so many memories.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I did have a few new items that I had set up for there. So I think I had mentioned before that it was kind of going to be my test for the mid-December holiday market, and so I had borrowed a tree from a friend that it says a 4-foot tree, but really it only like stood like 3 foot tall, so it was a little bit underwhelming. And with that little bit of breeze, I was fighting keeping that tree up the entire time. So like we made a bunch of 3D printed ornaments of various, franchises and things. And about once every 30 minutes or so, like I'd get big enough of a gust that it would actually like knock the thing over and I have to put on like 5 of the ornaments that had popped off. But we did sell a few ornaments, and then we had 3D printed a few wands that we had displayed in a stand. And of course, the ones that I had printed in the shiny silk PLA were the ones that were a lot more popular that had people looking at those. So, and they're super quick to make, so they're not like a super expensive item, so they're pretty cheap. So it's a nice fun item. It's the closest that I'll get to those like collapsible swords, because like that's where I draw the line, because like I don't want to be responsible for kids smacking each other and getting parrots angry that they won't come back. So
I'll do
the wands.
Do you now, Alex? Do you batch out your ornaments, or like do you do like a bunch on one print, or are you doing?
Yeah, usually what I'll do is I'll try and like fill a plate with whatever it is, because like especially if it's something small like croc gibbets or keychain stuff, I'll do like 10 of them at a time or something equivalent to that. With the ornaments, I think those are a little bit better, so usually I can get like 4 or 5 of those.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll do more if it's something that I think will do better, but other times I might just do a few. But like the amount of added filament that it takes to do just a few more is not very much, and it's just like you gain more by having a few more on hand in case it's popular than you do trying to like save a few grams of filament. So
okay, for me though, I don't know what you have. Like what 3D printer do you have? What are you running?
I have bamboo printers, so I have a couple of A1s and then a P1S.
Okay.
And then I've got for the A1s, I have the AMS lights. Those can do 4 colors, and then for the P1S, I've got 2 AMS units, so I can do up to 8 colors on that one, which 80% of the time it's stuff that's 4 colors or less, and like the remaining like maybe 5 or 6 colors. I think the most that I've ever done on one has been like 8, and I've never had anything more than that, just because it gets to be
a lot of waste.
Yeah, a lot of waste, a lot of just filament changes, and usually there's not as much added to the whatever item it is, because like my wife loves Harry Potter, and so I had printed for her early on when we got the printers like a full-on like scale version of Hogwarts, and that one only needed like I think it had 3 or 4 colors. So I mean, and it looks really good.
Can we talk about the A1 Mini and the fact that I got it as a gift? Well, my family got it as a gift from my parents. And I love it, my kids love it, but I can only do 1 color. It's capable of doing 4, but the cost of that attachment is like almost the same price as the machine. Why?
Because they wanted you to buy the more expensive one to begin with.
No, because if it would have been the whole bundle, it was like $50 more. But no, it's like almost like if you buy them separate, it's almost the same price as the machine. And I'm like, this is just like for somebody starting out with an A1 Mini. I mean, the A1 Mini is like tried and true. Like it's plug and play. Like it is a very easy machine to use. But for someone that's like, oh, I might want to get into 3D printing, and then they're like, oh, I want to do multiple colors now. You basically should just buy the whole setup and just get rid of the single color.
Yeah. Doing the combo is definitely the better move, but it's tough to know if you haven't gotten into it.
Right. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
It sounds like you're they owe you for the next present the H2C. That's the new one, right? The one that's
as a present.
Yeah, have them get that. Yeah.
Oh, my parents. I thought you were saying
little step up.
I'm like, I don't have that kind of relationship with bamboo.
I know, seriously.
No, yeah,
I want that relationship. I want them to take.
That would be nice.
I would gladly have a relationship with bamboo, and I will even do a video of me taking my ender that I have and strapping like C4 to it or something if they would work with me, because I hate that printer.
Bet.
So I would lovely make it explode.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, one day when bamboo reaches out.
Or a full-on Office Space episode.
You gotta reach out to them.
I'll. What?
Reach out to them.
I have. They've ignored me.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Way to remind him of his failures.
Sorry.
I did before we move on to the next segment, I did forget to mention at my markets. I mentioned last week that I was already running low on my pocket cribbage boards and my D&D dice boxes. I completely sold out of the pocket cribbage boards at the last market, and I only have 7 D&D boxes left out of the 60 I started with. So those are apparently the surprise sellers this year.
I want a pocket.
And since my shop's in scrambles, I can't restock them. What'd you say, Jesse?
I said I would love a pocket cribbage board. That sounds awesome.
So I've been selling them at a $20 price point. So it's very reasonable, and it's easy to a stocking stuffer or even as a main gift. And I've had a lot of good feedback from people that like the fact that it's the size of a deck of cards. They can literally just put it in their pocket. So I think I'll be making a lot more of those eventually. But
yeah, I'm thinking of the stocking stuffers. I think my favorite part of that market was when I had kids that wanted something, and then parents were like, "Well, we'll just have to let Santa know." And then either the other parent or the grandma or whatever went with the kid somewhere else, and then we quickly bagged up the item that they really wanted. So that was a lot of fun. Being a part of that moment of all right, this is something they really want, and then they're excited because they're like, okay, this is what they want, and they're gonna get it for Christmas. So I was pretty excited for that. And then because that's who I saw a decent amount of was especially in my setup, I get a lot of grandparents getting stuff for their kids because they know that it's something that their kids are gonna enjoy. So I had a few of those where they're like, they know their numbers, where they're like, I know I have this many grandkids, I gotta have this many items to give out to everyone, and they're just good little gifts because they're great for stocking stuffer because they're within that price point that it makes sense. You can get something specific for everyone and still be able to stay within the budget that you want to have for all of your presents that they're getting, or stocking stuffers, if you will.
So, Jesse, have you been selling anything this week? Or month?
I haven't sold anything this week, but I do have it. So I have a rotary for tumblers for my laser, and I have the OhmTech 60 watt. And I feel like this is one thing that comes in waves for me, is that I won't get any orders for anything laser for the longest time, and then everything comes at once. So I have a local company, the owners are friends of mine, and so I've done some FFA tumblers and things like that. Couple 1 or 2 offs for them. But they actually ordered from me for the company, which it's not huge, it's 12 tumblers. But she referred me to another company that was can we do 30? And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So yeah, I have a crap ton of tumblers in my shop right now that I need a laser. And I was so disappointed when I got the boxes and realized that every single one of them has a handle. Because I don't have a chuck rotary. I have a 4-wheel rotary.
So did they buy it and send it to you?
They bought them. Sometimes I'll tell people like, if they don't have handles, that'd be better. But I didn't really think about that. So it comes down to like with the 4-wheel, what I do is I'll use magnets and just like painter's tape, and I'll like offset the weight. Because if you don't, like that thing will just like flip off of the rotary. So, but that's also stressful. It's also stressful.
That's an ingenious way to do it, though, because my answer would be, I'll just buy a chuck rotary.
I mean, I could, just not in the time frame that I need to get them done, because it's all for like holiday party stuff. So,
yeah,
like the 12 of them or whatever need to be out by the end of the week. So, yeah. But then, ironically, too, I had somebody else from a 4-H group locally. They do goats, and they're going to be getting into show season again, you know, I don't know, in the spring. And she's like, can you do all these, like, you know, like laser goat, different species or whatever for like the stall doors, like when you go to the fair? I was like, yeah, I can do that. Heck yeah, I can do that. And then also I'm like texting Katrina, you know, Adventures with Katrina. Like, how do you even charge for this stuff? Like, I don't even know what to tell people because I don't do enough laser work to really give people a quote. So
$1 million.
I'm sure you guys have talked day in and day out about like pricing and stuff like that before, but I'm not there.
We haven't actually talked a lot about it. I know for me, like, so for this Columbia one, they provided the acrylic. So I'm literally just charging them my shop hour rate price.
Okay.
And so like for me, my shop rate's $60 an hour. So I charge however much hours in the shop it's going to be. Like this project, I think will be 5 hours worth of my time. So.
And a lot of people who have machines have like an hourly rate that's somewhere between the like $50 and $100 an hour, depending on like how expensive the machine is. Obviously, it's going to be able to do stuff faster if it's a, you know, more expensive, capable machine, but then it'll cost more per hour to operate it.
So do you have? But Alex Duffy, this is so weird. I'm stuck between two Alexes. Hey Duffy. So do you charge design fee and stuff though too? Because I mean, for
that's
me,
that's part of my per hour.
Okay. Some people are like design fee and then per item or run time.
No, for me, I just charge them per hour of time, and I round to the next half hour. So because I won't like do quarter hours or anything. So for me, if
gotta include those union breaks, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if I spend 20 minutes designing in Vectric, that's half an hour of my shop time, plus however long it takes to run the machine and clean up and all that. Like I do charge for all that time.
I think that's a hard thing though for some people because when you're getting started making stuff with a CNC or a laser, you don't know how long it's going to take you. So for somebody to be like, hey, how much is this going to cost, to estimate and be like, I mean, maybe you just have to bite the bullet and like eat some money for a while, but to be like, I think it's going to take me 3 hours, and then you mess something up and it takes you 8 hours or 9 hours. Like, so I think that's why I veer more towards doing like a design fee. Like, okay, I'm going to charge you X amount of money, $50 or whatever for a design fee. But if it's a logo for a company, I have that logo. So you're not going to get charged for that again if you come back to me and order, you know, cups again. And then I've just been doing by item. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's times that I have had a cup on the rotary and it didn't work out, and I had to go take my butt into town and buy a freaking Yeti to replace it. Like, and it sucks. I hate that, but I still sit there.
The worst
Yeah,
part is
she-
having to put on pants to go in town, right?
I mean, no, because I just wear shop clothes all the time. It's like, oh,
Me too.
I'm like, we have to dress up and go somewhere. I'm like, what? Are Carhartts okay? Like, I think
For
that's
me,
fine.
dressing up is putting on jeans. I'm normally just in shorts constantly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anywho. All right, that's my stuff. That's all I have. But I am getting orders. It's just all last minute.
Nice. All right, so this is our watching section. So Jesse, what we're going to end up doing is Alex will start with his first maker he's going to shout out, and then we'll go to you to shout out a maker, and then to me, and then we'll do that round robin one at a time until we go through our list. So Alex, who you want to shout out this week? And did you steal my? No, you did not. Okay. Phew. I was about to get really mad. I just saw it in the notes.
Even if it would be karma for all the times you did it to me. So there's that. So he is talking about the ever talented Belugan Sam, he's just making stuff all the time, and I have a hard time not highlighting him all the time because he just makes awesome things. So the one that he's done a series of these where there are animals that are integrated into essentially a way to store a nice watch. And so the most recent one was a hedgehog that he had made that has like a little mushroom on its back, and the mushroom actually opens up to actually show the watch. And so it just really, really well done. So that one I thought was just wonderful and worth shouting out on top of how talented it is already and just continually improving, which is, it just makes it hard for me to believe that he can keep on coming up with better and better stuff.
Me?
Jesse.
Okay.
Yep.
I feel like I did my homework better than you guys did because the whole episode is called Home Renovation. So I have to shout out Steph, Uncommon Outpost. She is just constantly, when it comes to home renovation stuff, her content is amazing. She's a great storyteller. So from stories to, I count this on like 2 levels, I guess, if I'm going to shout somebody out, is your storytelling in your reel and your storytelling in your stories. So you kind of always know what she's up to and what debauchery is going on at her little fixer-upper house. But when it comes to home renovation, she's my number one. My can I swear on this?
Sure.
This old house series, kind of, she's my homegirl.
I too curse my house out every single day for all of the things that I have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it.
Well, my first person, I am also going to shoot out Belugan Sam because, again, he makes amazing things constantly. So the post I saw was this really cute applewood owl that he had made. So it's a hand-carved owl. It's got some gorgeous dark elm accents to it, and some he used brass eyes or inserts for the eyes. Mm-hmm. Just a really cute. I looked at it and went, I really want to buy that. And then I decided I can't afford it. But it was really, really pretty. And it's a really cool owl. So, well talented hand carvings consistently.
Would you guys want specific examples?
Yes. Most recent project.
Okay. Most recent. Okay, I gotta go back to Steph. Sorry, you guys. So
go for it.
The reel that got me most recently with Steph was she was fixing a gutter, and she took some screws out. Didn't get back to the project because home ownership and ADD brains. Didn't come back to the project till later. Couldn't find the screws for the gutter, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a content creator," and she filmed herself 6 months ago or whatever, taking these gutters off and filmed herself saying, "Hey, Steph, I know you're going to look for these screws. This is exactly where they are in your shop."
That's hysterical.
That's
I was
wonderful.
like, this is epic. I am going to take that from her and use that
Right?
all the time now.
That is a great point. And also,
like-
6 months, those screws didn't move, huh? That's surprising.
Well, I mean, they were on her wall control, so...
Oh,
You know,
Everything has
fancy.
place on wall control.
But she even said in the video, she's like, "Hey, future Steph, I know you're going to be looking for these. This is where they are."
That's so cool.
It was epic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alex?
Okay, I've got next I have Jessie at Knock on Wood FL. So she, with her Makita tools, she was doing an interview with her a couple of different nailers,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a fun little exchange between her and the Makita cordless nailers. And then she followed up that reel with one where she was interviewing Gumby, which she has like. Gumby is kind of like her elf on the shelf in her shop that she has a little bit of dialogue with, and so that was just a lot of fun. So, as
She did
always,
it in stop
wonderful work to
motion,
see.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did do Gumby in stop motion, which was also impressive because that's a skill set in and of itself.
It's so much work. It was really, very impressive.
I love her too. She's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully we'll have her on. We've been discussing.
I second that. Oh, is it back to me? Back to me.
It is?
I not only have to shout this person out because they're local to me and one of my BFFs in the maker community, but Katrina from Adventures in Katrina. And I do know about her most recent projects, also home renovation, because I'm sticking with a theme here. She epoxy.
Because you were also there helping.
I was
her.
also there.
Give us the inside scoop.
I have to put together my own video for it because it's hilarious. So they recently moved. She epoxied her shop floor and then had to move all of her shop from storage to her new shop. So I went out. She's like 30 minutes from me, and her and her husband are just hilarious, like people to be around. They bicker, but not in a bad way, like in a hilarious way. And so
I know what you're talking about.
We kind of played off that throughout the day and, pulled out like our friends' references of like pivot.
Oh, definitely.
So, I mean,
Pivot!
Nobody likes moving, but if you have a friend that can help you and like make light of it and just make it a fun day, I think like it was just awesome. But she's definitely posted some shop organization stuff, which I think everybody should check out.
Okay, so back to me. I was trying to find a pivot sound bite, but I ran out of time. My next one is Geppetto and Wheezy the Ferret did a combination build together. They built an electric guitar, but using Pokemon cards as the body of the car of it, and they epoxied the Pokemon cards over it. It was all fire type, so it's all red, and then they painted it with basically a fade to a matte red on the edges. It looks incredible. The video storytelling was really great. The guy dressed up as Ash and like threw a Pokeball at the guitar and stuff. Like it was really good, well done. But the build was incredible. So
I didn't realize that they had done all fire type on that one. I didn't notice that detail.
Because
I was just amazed at the clean shininess of the epoxy and just like how flawless it was.
That absolutely. But I noticed the fire type because I was sitting there looking at the cards going, that better be a fake Charizard that you used, because it was a first edition Shadowless Charizard that they epoxied onto this thing. So that better not be real, because that thing would be worth thousands of dollars. That they just ruined an epoxy.
Oh, that's what Jessie could do. She could do like an epoxy guitar with her Beanie Babies.
There you go.
That sounds like a lot of work. And a lot of bubbles.
It is.
I don't know how would you triturate like the bubbles out of the Beanie Babies so it just didn't like.
You just paint the epoxy on. It's just like when people do other organic stuff, like you paint on a thin layer of epoxy to seal it. Yeah.
I do have some make epoxy I could use.
Okay,
all right, that was mine. Back to you, Alex.
Okay. Next one that I have is Albert at Albert A. Klein. And so he did a recent marquetry project where he did a flamingo standing in a pool, and he had the reflection of the flamingo in the water. And just the amount of planning that it takes to get that slightly distorted like reflection in the water just right and look really natural is just a testament to how good he is at those very, very small details. So that one I think was just absolutely amazing.
Okay, I have one more. I had to find it. Slab Shucker. His name is Scott. And this was the epic reel of the week for me, and this is like my number one. Is Kim coming out to the shop, and if you can see, if you're watching,
I saw that.
Yes. He came out, and this was one of those videos that was hilarious because it's not only like, dude, that sucks so bad, but the comment section was hilarious. So I have to read a couple of the comments.
So before you move on, for those who are listening, there is a dead mouse stuck in the epoxy pour that he made. So he came out overnight and found a dead mouse in the epoxy.
Dead mouse.
Yeah. Worse than a fly landing on it, just like a full-on mouse, like fully submerged. Like, well, not submerged, but like
half submerged.
Half submerged. So some of the comments though: free taxidermy. That's the most expensive mousetrap I've ever seen.
Yep.
Cover him in epoxy. Just send it through the planer.
Oh.
Yuck.
Cover the other side in clear. Sad. How about a faux chalk outline in memory of Jerry? I mean, like, I can go on, but like, it was the funny part to me is I followed this guy because it just came up on my FYP, but he only has 1,500 followers, and so you of course you go back in reels and you're like, okay, he gets like 5, 6, maybe 1,000 views on a video. That one's at 158,000 views in the last like 3 days.
Of course.
So
that's awesome.
Scott, if you ever listen to this podcast, I hope this reel makes you blow up because your content's actually really cool.
We'll tag him.
Okay.
So actually, if you're listening, Scott, what I would do with that, by the way, is I would cut out the mouse and keep it intact, and then like pour more epoxy on it to make like a mouse cube.
Oh.
And then like just save that.
And send it to Jimmy DiResta.
That's why I was like,
oh my gosh.
You could have something in common with Jimmy DiResta, and you guys could chat.
That's amazing. I should tag Jimmy in that reel. He would find
Absolutely.
that. He
Jimmy
would find
would love
that
that.
hilarious.
Jimmy would probably message and be like, hey, can I have him?
Can I have it?
Can I have it?
Yeah.
That's great.
That was fun.
Yeah. So my next two I'm going to combine. So I want to shout out Willow Ash Designs and Handy Dandy Brandy, both of which, because it's market season, are doing markets. And these two, out of all the booths I've seen so far this season from other makers, these two did incredible jobs. So Willow Ash Design, her setup was incredible. It was lots of different layers throughout the entire the booth, including a whole wall with hanging wall pieces. It was just really well done. Brandy did, because if you know anything about her woodwork, it is very interesting and very, I don't know, funky, I would say, but she has eclectic taste, and like some of her boards are hot dogs, some of them are soft pretzels, and so she made her booth look like a picnic in a national park, and that she was the park ranger. She dressed up as a park ranger. She had an information booth that she had set up, which is where she was checking her customers out, and she had signage galore everywhere. She had balloons, but the little red and white checkered tablecloths, like it was very, very well done. So doing a theme, I think, is incredible for her, especially with her
and those
genre of what she does.
And those hot dog cutting boards were sitting in a grill.
Yes, and they were sitting in a little Weber red grill. Yeah, it's so good.
I love
she's
her.
Such on brand. Yeah. Yep. So that was the rest for me. Alex?
Last two that I have. First one is Laughing Mantis Studio. I think I had highlighted one of the components before, but they had actually created it's the equivalent of a little free library, but for seeds for flowers and other plants. So they had multiple pieces on each side of it. So like one side had the really nice swallowtail butterfly. The other side, they had this really nice not mosaic, but a nice scenery with like flowers and a giant bumblebee and stuff. And so they just had stuff wrapped around the entirety of it. So it was just really well executed. And then the last one that I have is John at Tack Woodworks. He had a nice walnut dining table with very, very well placed sapwood. Obviously the sapwood is placed on the side, but just good usage of the sapwood so that it looks not just slammed in there, but like intentionally placed. So good job, John.
Who'd you say did the electrical work?
Oh, that would be my nephew, Thomas. He's very handy.
Yeah. What year did his house burn down?
Oh, about 2 years ago. How do you know his house burned down?
Epic.
So our main topic tonight is home renovation, and if you know that clip, it's perfect. Thank you, Alex, for that suggestion. But Jesse, you're an expert at home renovation, I would say. She laughs. But we definitely have some user questions, but I wanted to just pick your brain of what your recommendations are for people who are starting home renos. Like what are some of the main things that they should be aware of, or resources that are out there that they could, look into more things?
YouTube University, baby.
Always.
Yep.
No,
Always something on YouTube.
I think, I should probably take it back. When I bought my first house with my ex-husband, I didn't know anything about anything. So a big resource for me was my dad. He's done tile, he's laid flooring, he's done framing. He's kind of a jack of all trades. So when it comes to learning a new skill or learning about something, the internet's a great source for knowledge. But I would say phone a friend, always phone a friend. I feel like, especially now, even more than ever, since my fiance works for a general contractor. So if I don't know how to do something, or if he doesn't know how to do something, we always have a buddy that we can call. And, beers and food go a long way for having some friends come over and help you for a little bit. So don't ever feel like you can't ask for help. Couple things I wouldn't mess with if you didn't really know too much about, be plumbing and electrical and framing. Yeah.
Structural stuff.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely had to do some of that in our kitchen remodel. We pulled out our old cabinets and literal floor joists were rotten. And so that came down to the beard's knowledge of that kind of structural stuff, and sistering boards in and repairing it to a place where it's probably not perfect. Everyone on the internet has a freaking opinion about this stuff.
Everyone has 20 years of experience on the internet.
Oh yeah. You can go back and look at some of my videos and see the assholery that went on my comment section.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's because I'm a chick or they just think they can just tell everyone they're doing something wrong.
I think they're equal opportunity assholes where they just like to say it to
Yeah, the
anyone.
answer is just yes.
I think yeah. But yeah. I think did I answer your question though?
You did.
Okay.
Going off of that, Stephen, one of our patrons from Recycle Wooden Things, asked, at what point then do you actually call in professionals? What's the one thing that you don't tackle? For him specifically, and he says us down under because he's in Australia. We can't do electrical or most plumbing, so we're a bit limited. Just wondering what your thoughts are.
I don't know that I've really called in. I think the one professional thing was at my previous house with my ex-husband again. We had an oil tank furnace and it was awful and expensive to run. So we did actually hire that out to have somebody come put a heat pump in and a backup furnace because heat pumps only work down to a certain temperature. So, that was fun. So we hired out for that. We did hire out for our roof as well. I don't do roofing. I don't know anything about it and I'm afraid of heights. So, yeah, that would be one thing.
I hear you there.
I'm also kind of blessed because the Beard's dad, my future father-in-law, is a master electrician. So anything that comes to electrical, he even worked for his dad for a while. So, I mean, if it comes to, changing plugs and doing some switches and stuff, like he can figure that stuff out. But I mean, my electrical panel needs to be replaced and dear old father-in-law dad is going to come in and do that for me. So I don't have to really sub it out.
Is that going to be a wedding present?
Hopefully we can get him over here in the next year. No, he's coming this week, but I'm not making him work on Thanksgiving weekend.
I mean, it's a perfect time for DIY.
I know. But yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like the fixer upper things, I guess if you're coming into this in a house that is like demolished and rebuild from like the bones up, it might be harder, but I've done siding, I've done flooring, I've done tile, I've done plumbing. I don't know. I just kind of keep learning new skills as I need to, I guess.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, honestly, you can, like you had mentioned before, like everything's on YouTube. So if you don't have friends, you can always Google it on YouTube or find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And just watch several videos of stuff. And most of the time, it's just tedious stuff that takes time to do. Because like you had mentioned, like tile, it's like just repetitive stuff that has to happen. Or like flooring, where it's like ripping out more boards and then putting them back in. Like a lot of times it's just pure repetition and time in a lot of those scenarios. So having the foresight and the endurance to go through and repetitively like handle all of that stuff, and especially if you start dealing with other things that just pop up that you didn't expect halfway through. There's always something. Because like, yeah, because my wife wanted she wanted a toilet swapped out to be like a nicer toilet for a bathroom. Like nothing was wrong with the other one. And I was like, this is not going to be a simple thing. And it was like a present from in-laws or whatever, because they're also handy at doing stuff. And so it ended up being like replacing the flooring and the subflooring in it because of a whole bunch of stuff had been rotted out and whatnot. So I'm like, I knew it. And I didn't get to use my shower for 2 days. And yeah.
I will say one thing that I personally sub out to Robert is math and takeaways. Like, because he does this for work, he's really, really good at it. I am not like a big math person. So when I'm like looking at a wall and I'm like, how much insulation do I need? I don't like to math. I really don't, unless I have to. But it's easier to be like, honey.
You just like put your hands up to the insulation and like walk to the store, like in some of those commercials where they're like trying to like keep the measurement.
But he's really good at that. I mean, that's part of his job as a site super, is like he has to go in and be like, we're gonna need this much of this lumber, we're gonna need this much of this flooring. He has to be able to do that. So when it comes to like home stuff now, I feel kind of spoiled because I'm like, can you do a takeaway on this like project I want to do and just tell me how much it's going to cost me?
That's nice. That is really nice. I might need to borrow him.
Also, you're doing half of it. Sorry. There has been times that he's come home from work and I have like completely torn something apart, and he's like, "What are we doing?" I'm like,
I can tell from experience the best time to start a project is when they are not there because they can't stop you.
Well,
I have done that several times.
Yeah, but yeah, he's definitely come home.
My wife did that to
me. I didn't like this here. I'm gonna move it. Okay.
I know for me personally, like I won't deal with like I'll switch out like a light switch, or I'm fine with that. But most electrical I will not touch, and I will not touch plumbing. Those are my two like things, because we had in our last house we had a water leak, and that we ended up having to gut half of the house from damage from a previous owner not installing something properly. And I was just like, I'm just not going to deal with it. So like for me, that's when I call in the professional, because they get paid more for me.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much everything else I'll do myself. Like we love, like Victoria, we were just helping some friends move in. My wife, Victoria, she loves ripping out carpet and putting flooring in. So like she was happy as can be ripping out flooring and going through that. So it's fun.
I like to... I will be ambitious enough to like start on something, but I have in my head a certain either budget or like a certain stage for that project where I'm like, okay, this is where I have to start subbing it out to a person. Because like I had some plumbing stuff with my house where essentially the drainage was not working as it was supposed to. And so I was like, okay, I can get myself an endoscopic camera and a snake and some other tools to try and figure out this blockage because stuff is not draining. And I had in my head, like, okay, I can spend this much on tools and other stuff, and if I can't get it with these tools, that's when I need to call someone in to actually go in and fix it. And in that scenario, I was able to actually fix it because it was just like extra grease and stuff in the drains is what it ended up being. But thankfully it didn't require like actually tearing stuff out. But I did make some modifications to the plumbing that are reversible in a sense of like not like completely gluing together a system, so that if I do have someone who actually knows what they're doing come in, it's easy to undo what I did if it was not up to code or like wrong, so then something proper can get put in. And I do the same thing with other projects too, where like insulating the garage that I'm in, like I put in bats of insulation because the studs were exposed. I'm like, okay, if I do something wrong here, I know that I can actually take those out, and if we need to do spray foam or do other structural stuff to this garage for future expansion or whatever, I can reverse it. So I always try and keep that in mind of like being non-committal on some of those projects, especially if it's like more not like the final finish of something where it's like the decorative, like what you would actually see stuff. It's more like the guts and other internal stuff that I end up messing around with, whether it's like electrical or plumbing or whatnot.
For sure.
Jessie, can you give us your favorite thing you've done renovation wise, and the thing you hated doing the most?
I hate drywall. Was that a question? I mean, I guess if anybody knows me, they know I hate drywall. I can do it, and I actually let the beard help me do drywall once, and I was so angry because I had to sand down the bullshit he put on the walls and fix it. And so I'm kind of torn between, I'm like, did he fuck that up on purpose because he hates it as much as I do? Or is he just really that bad? But either way, he's not allowed to do it anymore.
Either way, he wins. Anymore.
So,
weaponized incompetence.
Drywall, I hate.
Is that better or worse than wallpaper?
I've never done wallpaper. I don't think I'd ever want to do wallpaper. Are you a 90-year-old woman? What are you talking about?
I just know that a wallpaper is a trigger for some people, and I just needed to know if it was for you.
Every time I see somebody do it on the Home and Garden channel and they do wallpaper, I'm like, what designer makes this choice? Get this designer off the show. Wallpaper is not something that should be used anymore, period.
No, absolutely
it's not as bad as that one. I can't remember the show where they it was one of those things where they renovated the rooms and they only had a couple $100 and they did glue on the wall and then threw straw at it for the walls.
Oh my god.
And it was just horrendous. It was one of the top 5 moments from that show of the worst fails.
Yeah, no.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to talk about Extreme Home Makeover, which literally had code violations everywhere and houses falling apart after them because they did it so shoddily, so quickly.
But they moved that bus quick enough that they could get out of there.
Yeah, that's about it. All right.
Anyway, no, I think if you're gonna do weird stuff to your walls, that's gonna phase out. Colors, paint it. I mean, you remember back in the day they used to do sponge painting, multiple colors, and you just dab your sponges and you make this almost cloud-looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it went out of style, but guess what? It's paint. You can paint over it. Just do that. Just use paint.
Mm-hmm.
So
my sister, when she did a home renovation, decided to paint her bathroom a sunshine yellow, and then she wanted to add red specks to it. But the way she did it, it looked like somebody had been murdered in that bathroom because she flinked the brush in all these streak ways. And so when the first time I went over there, it's is somebody okay? It looked like somebody got splatter blood pattern on the wall. It was rough.
Or you could do what my wife did with our upstairs bathroom and call a friend over, split a bottle of wine, and then paint. That was there's a few spots around the baseboards that you can definitely tell what was going on there. But I'm like, you know what? They painted it and I didn't have to, so I'm fine with this. It's okay.
It's fine. Everything's fine. You put furniture in front of it. It's great. I would say, I don't know if I have a favorite thing that I've ever done. I think.
What gave you the most joy when it was finished?
Well, we have to then talk about how many projects are actually finished. And I don't.
Oh, so you're part of the start it, never finish.
Oh, I mean, I have to say, in this house, in my house now, we did reinforce structural stuff so that we could open up. I had a very, very slim galley style kitchen, and just a little normal 32-inch doorway into the living room. And so it was very separated. So I think the coolest thing I've seen happen in my house here is opening that wall up and my kitchen remodel. I mean, and I'm team 80%, 90% over here. So there's still stuff that needs to be done, but that was the biggest change and the most satisfying thing that we've done in this house is to open up that space. So it's not like it was. It was very small. It felt very small.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Before we quickly wrap up, is there anything that you want to impart our listeners with when it comes to home renovation? Any words of wisdom?
I think just do it. If you have a vision for something, you can figure it out. I mean, there's so many things when it comes to home renovation that you can do yourself. If you're posting it online, you might get some hate and you might have a lot of mansplaining done to you, which I have had plenty in my comments. But if you're not posting it online, I mean, use your resources, talk to people, talk to friends who know another friend if you need advice. If you're scared to do it because it's something safety-wise, like we're talking about structural, plumbing, electrical, things like that. Don't do it, please. Like, keep yourself safe. But there's so many things in home renovation, things that you can change. I mean, I'm sitting in front of a closet that used to be on the other side of my room, and it was a horrible place for it. So I moved the closet. It wasn't that hard. It took some time and some drywall, so I hated that. But yeah, I mean, there's so many easy things you can do to update your spaces in your home, like tiling a backsplash. It's not hard. It's really not. I mean, I don't think you can really mess it up, especially with the, cut and peel tiles and stuff that they make these days. It's, there's a lot of ways to go about home renovation that are cheaper than hiring somebody, and you can do yourself, and you learn a new skill.
Awesome.
You get to buy tools.
Good news, everyone.
Sorry, Alex, what did you say?
And you can always buy tools as part of the budget.
And you can always buy tools. And on that note,
good news, everyone.
Real quick on my side, it is 22 days. When this airs, 22 days from Christmas. Make sure you get your Christmas gift made. So that's my good news. Alex, do you have any maker news?
Oh, I don't have any specific things. I know that makers are probably having their Black Friday sales. And I mean, a lot of times they end up extending it into the Christmas time frame. So you'll probably still have an opportunity to get some good sales on tools or other stuff that makers or other good brands in the maker community are offering for holiday deals.
And make sure you go back and listen to last week's episode. If you're looking for gift ideas, Alex and I did a full rundown of our favorite tools and gifts for the holiday season. Jessie, thank you so much for joining us and being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And where can people find you?
You can find me on all platforms, Building Jessie. I promise to be a little more social. My lack of posting, I'm working on that, but I'm always available.
Just send her reels of duck videos.
You send me reels of duck videos, you'll catch my attention. But I'm always available. Like, DM me. I've never not responded to a DM of somebody asking for help or questions or, just being friends. So I'm here. I'm around. And I was happy to be here tonight.
Hey, thank you so much. And everybody, thank you so much for listening. And remember,
in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Good night, everybody.
Night, night.
Bye.